music program stands on your shoulders for all the work you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning. What a great day it is. One of the things that I love about this teaching is that it doesn't put you down, it lifts you up. Some people have trouble with that. Some people think that maybe we're brash, that we're pretty egocentric, maybe a little narcissistic. It's all about me, it's all about me. The entire universe revolves around me. Well, actually it does. But some people hang on to that old idea that says we are not supposed to be great and glorious and magnificent and fantastic and healthy and happy and wealthy and whole. And they hold on to this other idea that says, I'm supposed to hold myself back. But you know, before I get into my talk, we have a treatment to do for freedom. You beamed me, didn't you? Barbara, stop talking. Do your treatment. You ready to be free? Take a deep breath and we'll do our treatment for freedom. I speak my word for myself, my center, and all its members and friends. I know love as the only reality. I am created out of love. Love is what I am. I know this love as absolute freedom in every area of my life, the life of my center, and all who call it home. I know our center's mortgages are paid in full, and I claim for all of us financial freedom with all debts paid and cleared. I release any sense of struggle or wrongdoing. I live in an abundant universe where there is more than enough for all. We experience freedom in every moment by always having more than enough money, vibrant health, and loving relationships. We are who we have come here to be. With hearts open wide, we see the world through the eyes of love. We are blessed, we are rich, and we are free. And so it is. And the tools that we are using to manifest these amazing lives are our 5 points of power. I always pay attention. I always tell the truth and tell it quickly. I always ask for what I want when I want it. I always take total responsibility for my life, for my experience. I always keep my agreements. Yes, yes. Some people think, you can move it, some people think I'm asking too much of you. More homework? You started off with forgiveness. You want me to forgive everybody and everything and myself. And then you brought in this treatment for prosperity, for freedom. You brought in these 5 points of power. You got me in the prosperity class. I'm writing a letter to my chief spiritual officer every morning. I'm doing letters of gratitude. I'm listening for divine guidance and intuition, and I'm taking action on that divine guidance. I'm noticing the manifestations of my life only to fall asleep with gratitude and checking myself out to see if there's any forgiveness work that I picked up along the way during the day. Well, you know, you don't have to do this. You don't have to be happy. You don't have to have more than enough money. You don't have to be healthy. You don't have to have good relationships. But I tell you, if you don't do the work and your life doesn't demonstrate the way you want it to be demonstrated, you will be miserable. It's like someone once they've, you know, how are you going to keep the kids out on the farm once they've seen Perry? And we'll have different metaphors here, but how in the world are you going to be happy with a life that believes in victimization and outside powers and that you're a miserable sinner and you deserve to suffer and struggle in life once you've been to Center for Spiritual Living in Asheville? How are you going to do that? And the only way out is through. And the only way through is on the inside. It's doing the work within you. And some of us need more work than others. That's okay. It just means that we've had some rich and full lives, picked up some belief systems along the way. It's just a bunch of BS, don't worry about it. And I don't know of any other way to manifest the life of our dreams other than cleaning ourselves up. But sometimes things come up in people, and it's really kind of difficult to get past. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is this idea of deserving. Because some people do think, especially me, I, Barbara Waterhouse, am pretty self-absorbed and just want it all and, you know, just take. They don't know me very well because the only way you get to get is to give. But they can look at this teaching and think that it's all about give me. And so I wanted to talk about this idea of deserving. And people who have been in this teaching for a long time get it. I was up in my office and John L's coming in, smudging the place like she does on Sunday morning, give, making coffee, turning on the bread machines. And she poked her head in my office door and said, "What are we talking about today?" And I said, "I deserve it all." And she said, "Hell yeah." That is the appropriate response. But sometimes for some people, it's not that easy. They haven't just had the practice yet. And so something comes up when I say, you deserve it all, not just a little bit, but you deserve it all. You deserve everything. You deserve more than you can even imagine. You deserve that. For some people, sometimes what comes up is this sense of, I don't know, maybe you don't know me, maybe you don't know what I've done, you don't know what skeletons are in my closet, what people have said about you. I've been in this teaching for almost, I'm pushing my 40-year mark. I know what we think we have wrong with us. And what I want you to know is that there's nothing wrong with you. That you are a beam of light coming from the great light of spirit. And you can't screw this up. Everybody take a deep breath. You can't screw this up. I don't care what anybody told you. I don't care if you used your outside voice inside. I don't care if you spilled. I don't care if you wet your pants. I don't care if you did things. You can't screw this up because you cannot stop being who you are. And so in this idea, and I know I'm pushing you this summer, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm pushing you. How many people feel pushed this summer? Only 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm going to have to start pushing harder. I know I'm pushing this summer because I want us to do one of those quantum leaps. Do you know what a quantum leap is? Not the TV show with that. Pardon me? I don't know. Not the TV show. A quantum leap is you go from one place to another place without traveling the distance between it. That truly is a thing. It's called a quantum leap, a quantum jump. I want us to do this quantum jump, and in order for that to happen, we have to hit a certain level of consciousness, vibration, energy, however you want to look at it, and then everything changes. And so I'm feeling the energy of this community, and some of the things that come back to me are little road signs about how people are doing. Some people come to me and say, I love this teaching. I love this teaching. Everything is about inside of me. It is my job to see the God in everybody else, to see the blessing, to see the good, to look at myself and feel only love. That is my job. I love this teaching. Nobody can give anything to me. Nobody can take anything away from me. Nobody can do anything to me. Nothing matters in the past. The only reality is my now moment. I go, yeah. And then other people come to me and go, I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm not comfortable with it. What is it? My job is to, make the uncomfortable comfortable and make the comfortable uncomfortable, something like that. My job is not to make you comfortable For that matter, my job is to make you uncomfortable. So people come up to me and they say, I don't like this. I noticed that attendance in the Monday night class plummeted last week because we push you, we ask you to do stuff every day, all day. And as you're falling asleep, no, you don't just get to, well, we can't watch Jon Stewart anymore. Forgiveness. I forgive and release Jon Stewart to his highest and best and know that only good comes to me in my life in my sleeping times. So where I used to just like drift off to sleep with something hypnotizing me, now we get to drift off to sleep with gratitude and checking ourselves out to see if there's any little bit of residue of forgiveness work that we need to do. And then our subconscious mind takes it all night long. So not only do we get to work all day, but we get to work on ourselves all night also. And in doing that, things happen. So when people come up to me and they say, I'm not comfortable with this, I don't like this, what that tells me is that there's an old idea that says, I shouldn't have it all. It reminds me of Marianne Williamson, so powerful that she was quoted by Nelson Mandela at his inaugural speech. And she says from her book, A Return to Love, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And so someone says, I'm not comfortable. And I'm thinking, this is a road sign about the resistance that we have to embrace the amazing God being that we are. That sometimes we are so programmed with these old ideas that say, you can't have it all, it's too good to be true, it'll never happen, you don't deserve that, you haven't worked hard enough or long enough to have that, it's not in your genes, it's not in your past. We have a litany list, a list of all these things about why we can't experience ourselves as the amazing being that we are. And that's the work. That's the forgiveness work. To let go of any sense that anyone can hurt us at all, that anyone has ever hurt us. People come in, they really want to tell me their story. It starts off like this. Barbara, I know you don't want to hear the story, but just give me a few minutes so that I can tell you my story. And it's like I'm sitting there going, are you asking me to set what I believe on hold to listen to this and maybe you'll convince me that you're the special case out of all 7.5 billion people on the planet, and who knows how many other beings there are, that you're different than everybody else? It's not going to happen. We are all points of spirit. There is only one. There is nothing wrong. There is nothing evil. There is nothing bad. And yet, sometimes we've been so immersed in this race consciousness. We've been exposed to that as innocent little children, you know, being taken into a place that says, you're a bad person, you're a bad boy, a bad girl, and then it goes to, well, it's not who you are, it's just what you did was bad. No, it's all the same thing. There is no bad. There is no wrong. There's only one, and if there's only one power and presence in the universe, it is everything, everyone, everywhere, every when. There is no devil. There is no evil. There is no hell. There is no punishment. Life is not a sick setup of a pop quiz, and if we fail it, then we're going to be lost forever. That's not what's going on. There is only the presence of the divine as us. So how is it that we let ourselves get pulled back into this fear of the amazing being that we are? How is it that we pull back and give in to those old ideas that say, you're just too big for your britches? Don't want because you might not get it. You remember what you did, don't you? What if everybody knew? I got a news for you. There's only one mind everybody knows. There's only one mind. At some level, everybody knows everything about you. And still, you are perfect. Still, you are whole. You are complete. It doesn't matter what has happened up until now. You deserve to have the life that you want. I always feel like this idea of desire, taking it back to the Latin of sire, the father, of the father. God is whispering in your ear, go to Hawaii, buy those shoes, have a massage. That at some level, spirit, seeking to express itself more fully as us, really wants to express itself more fully. Not just a little bit, not just, oh, well, I'll just take a minute and glance at the sunrise. I stop and stare, like John thinks I'm going up for coffee. My stairwell, 3/4 of the way up, sees the sunrise. I can lean on the windowsill and watch it come up. And when I'm feeling like I don't deserve that, I'll pause for a moment and then, oh, I gotta hurry up, I've got things to do, and I better do this, I better do that. And when I'm feeling good about myself, I'll just stop and watch. Because there's more than enough time. Because I deserve to have what I love. I love sunrises. I bet the sunrise, being a manifestation of the divine, seeking to ever express itself in greater and greater ways, just like we are, doesn't stop and say, I don't know, I think I've used up all the good colors yesterday, and I don't know if I'm supposed to use any more. I don't know if I should be a really good sunrise today because, 20 years ago, it was a cloudy day and they didn't even see me come up at all, so I must just be a failure as a sunrise. It doesn't do that. It takes every bit of light and moisture and color that it can get, and it shines. That is what we are meant to do. We are not supposed to deny ourselves. We are supposed to take. And in a fantastic quantum physics way, the more you take, the more there is. Whenever you say, no, I shouldn't, I mustn't, I can't do that, then we're actually decreasing the amount of the good in the world. Whenever we take it, we make it bigger. It's like priming a pump. Oh, I don't want to lose this water. Well, if you don't prime it in the pump, you're not going to have any water. You prime it in the pump and you pump, 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 pump. And the more you pump, the more water there is. That's what our life is supposed to be. And so people say, well, Barbara, I don't know if I should say I deserve it all. Well, how audacious of you. I deserve it all. Well, what about somebody else? Don't they even get a little bit? You're going to take it all. No, the more I take, the more you get. The more you take, the more there is. You deserve it all, because whenever you deny yourself, you shut yourself down, and that brings up that whole Bible thing about putting a bushel on your head and your light, and you're not supposed to do that. Even Jesus said you weren't supposed to do that, although a lot of traditional religions have taken what he said and completely twisted it around to where you don't dare deserve anything. There's all of this unworthiness. I want to tell you that you are worthy. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You deserve to have your life the way you want it. And if there's anything inside of you that says, I should not, there's not enough, I don't get to, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm a woman, I'm a man, I'm an iffy person, I don't know. What was that did you say? You said, the gaze of God. I know you meant the gaze of God, but I was thinking rainbow flags, boy, the gaze of God. This idea that says I can't because of anything outside of me, or because of some idea that I hold within myself that I'm not perfect, that I'm not whole, that I'm not complete, that I'm not precious in all of life. That needs to go on the scrap heap. Ernest Holmes, the original Science of Mind text, before they tried to make it better for the masses. Some of the things he said in this one are not in the revised one. He says, duality in theology. The belief in duality has given rise in theology to the idea of a God and a devil, each with equal power to impose upon man a blessing or a curse. And men have worshipped a devil just as truly as they ever worshipped God. Even today, this monstrous thought is robbing men of their birthright to happiness and a sense of security. Even today, and openly, men still teach that there is an evil power in the universe, that there is damnation to the souls of those who do not fall down and worship they know not what. But the time is rapidly coming when such teachings will be thrown on the scrap heap and numbered among the delusions of a frantic mentality. At what point do you tell those ideas of your third grade teacher that said you're not smart enough to go on to the scrap heap? At what point do you look at what your ex said about you? If you leave me, you'll never be loved by anybody else, and you throw it on the scrap heap? At what point do you look at the economy and say, you have nothing on me, God is my banker, I am supported, and you throw that on the scrap heap? At what point do we stand up in the light of God as us, magnificent and glorious and unafraid of who we are? I encourage you to have that point be now. Be now. You are made manifest, the glory of God, not tomorrow, not when you get it together. You have never done anything to screw this up. You cannot stop it. It will happen. Today, tomorrow, another lifetime. You deserve it. You were created to have it. Even the lilies of the field, I'm getting a little biblical. The lilies of the field, they don't worry about it. Do I deserve to be clothed better than all the raiment of Solomon? Yes, you do deserve it. And when you move past your fear that what will happen if I really go for it, if I really shine, if I really embrace who I am, what will happen? I'll tell you what will happen. All of your dreams will come true because you deserve it all. And so it is.